All right, let's dive right into this chilling explainer. Today, we're going to uncover the mystery of a secluded mountain settlement the time literally swallowed whole. It's a fascinating look at how folklore, history, and the unexplained all kind of crash into each other, and we're going to break the whole thing down step by step.
I mean, think about that for a second. What actually happens to a village when it disappears from every map? Why does our human psychology constantly draw us to investigate places that officially no longer exist? There is something deeply unsettling yet absolutely captivating about a void on a map. And today, we're looking at the source material detailing exactly one of these impossible places.
So let's get into it with Section 1, the vanished village, hidden in the mountains.
Okay, picture this. It's 1947, and this small village, hidden deep in the mountains, is still officially acknowledged on maps. But fast forward many years later, and it has vanished completely from modern records. It's just gone. And that gap, that mystery, is exactly what draws our main subject, a young journalist, to arrive and attempt to uncover the truth.
Now, the absolutely crucial point here is something called the sunset rule. The locals held a terrifying belief that anyone who entered the village after sunset would never return alive the next morning. And this isn't just a casual superstition, It sets the ultimate stakes for our investigator. He isn't just researching a town, he is actively testing a deadly local law.
Which brings us to Section 2, the journalist's investigation, a dangerous descent.
So, during daylight, everything seemed completely normal. It was just an empty, quiet place. But the literal moment the sun dipped below the horizon, the entire village sank into this unnatural silence. The atmosphere completely changes. You can practically feel the tension immediately begin to build.
And as that heavy silence takes over, the journalist makes a series of fateful decisions. Step 1, he notices a faint lantern glowing in the distance. Step 2, rather than doing the smart thing and retreating, he follows the old man carrying that lantern, walking deeper into the darkness. And finally, Step 3, this pursuit leads him directly to an ancient abandoned mansion. Basically, he's been lured right into the heart of the village's secret.
Moving right along to Section 3, the Mansion of Faces, a horrifying discovery. The sheer overwhelming scale here is staggering. Hundreds. Inside the mansion, the journalist discovers hundreds of old photographs hanging on the walls. And these aren't just random portraits, right? These are pictures of people who had disappeared decades ago. The physical evidence of the village's dark history is literally staring right back at him.
But then, he makes an impossible discovery. Among all those hundreds of missing people, he finds his own photograph hanging on the wall. Just think about the sheer terror of that moment. He had never visited this village before in his life, yet there he is, perfectly preserved in a history he hasn't even lived yet. No way!
And right at that exact moment of realization, the trap springs. The door behind him slams shut entirely by itself. There's no way out. Then, the auditory horrors begin. The sound of slow footsteps starts coming closer and closer in the dark. The isolation of the mansion is suddenly broken by a creeping, undeniable presence.
And a mysterious voice whispers directly into his ear, "You have been waiting for us for a long time." Let those words just sit with you for a second. It completely flips the narrative. He thought he was hunting the village's secret, but the village was actually waiting for him.
That takes us to Section 4, the final photograph, Morning Aftermath.
The aftermath is chillingly brief. The source tells us that the next morning, a rescue team arrives at the village, but the journalist has vanished without a trace. The only piece of physical evidence left behind to prove he was ever even there is his camera.
But the secret held on that camera is what truly cements the story. When the rescue team develops the final image, well, at first glance, the room appears completely empty. But look closely at the mirror reflection behind where the journalist was standing. In that glass, there aren't just shadows. There are dozens of smiling, shadowy faces looking back. The empty room was never actually empty.
Finally, Section 5, Curse or Reality, an enduring mystery.
To this day, nobody knows the absolute truth, which leaves us with one final question. Was the village real, or just a cursed place waiting for its next victim? It's a phenomenal example of how folklore operates, blurring the line between physical geography and a deadly paranormal trap. It really leaves you wondering what actually happens when the sun goes down in places forgotten by the world. Thanks for walking through this explainer with me, and definitely keep questioning what lies just beyond the map.